important. So today we are going to discuss on how to work on talent pipeline. Okay, so are you aware of talent pipeline? What exactly is talent pipeline?
Yes, is the different step or status that candidate has to pass.
Yes.
Through a requisition process.
In normally the so normally in a talent you don't have any limits on number of steps to be created. You can create a number of steps, and also you can create n number of talent pipelines. No limit on talent pipelines.
But the talent pipeline, I'm curious because I know that is some status by default. Like for example,
we will come to that. Okay. So the first thing, important thing is talent pipeline. Without talent pipeline, you won't be able to import any XMLs. So you have to start working from talent pipeline in the first place. Okay. Creating talent pipeline, you can create a number of talent pipelines. Okay. Second thing is you can use only one talent pipeline at a time.
For all the requisitions, right?
At a time means one application. We are going to tag talent pipeline to this XMLs. See, for that only one can be used at a time. If I'm using one job requisition, so only one application I can tag to it. Only one talent pipeline I can tag to it.
If I can have different pipelines for different job requisitions, right?
Yes, if you want to have a different, pipeline, then you should have a different XML for it. I mean, you need to create another one.
And quick question: can you, for example, if I create, I don't know, like one, because in the first year I didn't need another one, can I create like in the next years another new talent pipeline and it won't cause any issue? Okay.
Yes, you can. See, here I'm just showing. Okay, see here, this is one requisition I have that is called as basic job requisition, right? And here I can tag only one application template for it, right?
But the application template is different.
Sorry?
Application template is not related to the job application. If you click in general settings.
No, that is different. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is, for this requisition, I can have only one application tag to it, right? I cannot tag to multiple applications. There are multiple applications in the system. I can see that there are 3 different applications in the system, but I can use only one at a time.
Okay, but yes, I see that, but that is not the talent pipeline that we are talking.
No. Okay. I will come to that picture. So I'll just go step by step so that you will understand in a better way. Okay. So this is one job requisition. You can tag only one application. Okay. And to that application, there is only one talent pipeline is involved in that. So basically what happens is job requisition. It can be only one application. One tag and pipeline. Okay, here. So I can set only one at a time. There might be multiple status set, but it's of no use. But I need only one. I'll be able to use only one status set. So you got the concept, right? For one requisition, there can be only one application, one talent pipeline. If you want for the same job application and for the same requisition, you want to have a different type pipeline, means what you can do is, as an alternative way, you can copy those requisitions, copy that application, you can give a different name to it, and then tag another talent pipeline. You have to duplicate it. So it's a workaround. Okay.
Okay.
So now coming back to talent pipeline. So how do we create this talent pipeline? Here I can see so many talent pipelines is there. So okay, so there is something called as status set. You know what is the difference between status and a status set?
I think a status is the individual and a status set is like a group. A group of,
yes,
for example,
right.
interview can have like different status, but it's the same.
No, not exactly. So status means there can be any status. It can be phone status or interview 1 or interview. Status set is group of statuses is called a status set. Okay, this is status set. I'm going to create one status set for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is called a status set. We are going to tag in requisition application, right? We are going to use this name. What are we giving a sample status I have given, right? So I will be using that name to tag it in the requisition and application. Okay, so now what is status? Status is this one. Forward is a status, default is a status, requisition closed, higher down, other. These are the status. What is status set? The whole group together is called a status set. I'm naming this as a status set, sample status, right? So this is a status set. Group of status is called as status set.
And those are like the default ones. Like for example, when you create a new status,
yes,
this is automatically pulled. Like
yes, we will come to that. Okay. So now you understand what is status and what is status set.
Yes.
Okay. So next part is how to add a status to this status set. For example, normally ABC company has one status set. Okay. They want phone interview and video interview, manager interview and stuff. Different. They want it. These are different statuses they have in the requirement. Okay. So I need to create it. So I'm going to give the naming as AB status set. Okay. Initially what I will do is I'll just create the status, I'll name it, and then I'll click on done. So what I have created here. So ABC statuses I have created. So what is status set? Group of status. I clicked on it. So in bit there is already few status I can see here, right? So this one you cannot remove or do anything. Delete it. These are all by default it will comes. Okay, but you can rename it. What exactly is forward status? Forward status is somewhere like somebody forwards to it from one requisition to another requisition. Invited to apply is inside the requisition you have one button, right? Invited to apply. So the status it is. Default is a one which is the first status what we use it. We can rename it based on the client requirement. Okay. Auto disqualified is something like there are questions involved in the job application, right? For example, we will do the first screening before applying for a job. Like, are you above 18 years so that you can work here in this company? If he says no, we will mark it as a default questionnaire. So if the answer is wrong, then automatically the candidate will come to this auto disqualified. Okay. Requisition closed is happens when close the requisition, it will come and fall into this status. Hired on requisition, you can track the candidate and put it here if it's hired in a different requisition. Okay. Deleted on demand by candidate. If the candidate applies for a job and he prefers not to proceed further, if he cancels it, then we come to this status. If the candidates not to be proceed further, and if the candidate calls and says that I don't want to proceed further, so admin can go and delete, right? So that is. It can data privacy control center. So there is a data privacy when a candidate is applying for a job or creates his profile. There is a data privacy statement which shows. So if the candidate says that he is not agreeing for it, he says decline, then the candidate will come and falls in this status. Okay. Withdrawn by a candidate. For example, I have applied for this job. I don't want to proceed for this job. I have another. I saw another requisition which is more relevant for me. So I'm going to withdraw it. So if I withdraw this, then candidate comes and falls in this status. Okay. These are the default status which is there in the system already by default success factors. Okay. Now
what want to. Sorry, just a quick question because I'm not pretty sure. What is the difference between, for example, a closed, like move a candidate to status that are in the category closed, like for example, hire on another requisition, and withdraw? You know what I mean?
Hired on the requisition. So these are, for instance, I'm a recruiter who is working in ABC company. I have scheduled an interview and I have added one candidate for the job opening. Okay, interview process is going on. Parallelly, that candidate is giving interview to another recruiter in the same company for a different requisition, for a different role. And same time the candidate can give multiple interviews in the same company, right, for different roles. So if he gets selected in one of the role, and the recruiter can go and put it in a status which says he's already hired in another requisition.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. So basically, these are just the different statuses based on the requirement. It will go and fall into different things, which is this comes by default, like whenever we enable recruiting. So these things will be there by default. Okay. Now the question is, these are by default. Now I want to add the client requirement statuses. Client wants phone interview, video interview, line manager interview. How to add this? Okay. So in order to add that status, first we need to add it in the base. Okay. So how to add it in a base? We need a provision access for it. Since I don't have it. This is too tiny. Okay. This is a provision access. There is something called as application status configuration inside the provision. Okay. You are going to click on it and
let me, if you like, let me just take a better picture. So it's not, because it's not clear what it said. I can log in and I can send the picture in this chat if you want. So we can work from that part. 1 sec. But for this new, for example, for this status that you would like to create, like interview phone and so on, it's not a way that I can create it from the user interface.
You can create a status, but you cannot create the primary status. Primary initial thing you have to add it in the from provisioning only, because see, I need this for first time. You need to add it from the provisioning. When I'm doing for the first time, second time I can create from here only. I can create another status. From here I can add it, because once I add it in the provisioning here, it will be visible. I can go and add it directly. But for the first time, I need to add it from the backend, from provisioning.
Okay.
Okay. How to create a talent pipeline? I just showed you. Okay. There are two ways to create a talent pipeline. First way is from UI, front system, right? From admin center. Edit application status set. Okay. Second thing is provisioning.
Okay, quick question. For example, if I need to add, I don't know, because of the recruiting process now, I need a new status, or yes, a new status that must need to be required. In that case, should I just update the current talent pipeline, or should I create? What is the best practice?
Best practice is, if there is an addition, you can go ahead and add it a new status. It's not going to affect you.
Okay.
Which is already live.
Okay, and that in
the same which is already present. Yes, which is already present, which is already live, which you're already working on. You have all considered that you have already tagged the requisition and you have already started hiring candidates and all. Okay. Then the person comes back then the client comes back and saying, we need another status. Okay. That time you can go ahead and you can add a new status. That's not going to affect you.
Okay.
But you cannot remove it. Consider no. It's going to throw an error. It's already present in the system and candidates would have already been present, right? So it's not a best practice to remove it.
Okay.
So
if I need to remove one status, the best practice should be like create another pipeline and assign to a new requisition and start to launch that requisition instead of the old one, right?
Right. Okay. That is a best practice. There is another alternative way. Okay. You can remove the permission for the status.
Okay.
They can see that probably it will be visible, but they cannot do anything because it will be grayed out for them. Okay. So coming back to this, first we need to create a talent pipeline. There are two ways to create a talent pipeline. One is front end, and second one is provisioning. Front end, I can go and create it, but for the first time when I'm creating a new in progress status, it needs to be added from provisioning end. Okay. And from UI, you can go ahead and once you already have many, once your base sets are set, you can add it from the UI any number of status. Because your base sets are already present.